All right, let's begin. Welcome to the stream. Liber Novus, Chapter 2, Part 1. A Deal with the Devils.
Ooh.
Yeah, like that's so exciting. Thank you for all of us who are Thank you for all of us who are joining today. Just us. No. Thank you to everyone who's joining us today. I freaking love Dome Lotion. Okay, yes. And this is a stream using the Savage Worlds system. It is set in, like homebrew, I guess, world of the Mysteria, where you have, where everything as we know it has happened, right? There's Netflix and Twitter, and I don't know, the Revolutionary War. Yep, that's all that history matters is revolutionary. Anyway,
Well,
and that, but like operating alongside us in this, in the shadows and the alleys and all those things is the Mysteria, the community of mages and orcs and witches and other things that go bump in the night. And within this community, there is an organization known as the 1001, who are agents, only 1001 of them, tasked by their mysterious leader, Morrison Lemire, who gets people of some importance under the auspices of keeping the stories going, protecting the world's tale. And today, we have new players and new characters. So why don't we take a moment and introduce ourselves? I've already introduced myself, so why don't you introduce yourselves?
Who's going first, me or you?
You go first.
Awesome, great. Hi, I'm Jackie. I am playing Amy Wers. God, I don't want to say anything about her because she sure is an experience. I don't really do anything else professionally in like an AP sphere, but I am very present on a lot of Discords. So if you know me, you know me. If you don't, hello.
Jackie's really great and has excellent taste. Everything Jackie, if Jackie tells you, like, this piece of audio drama is good or that thing is awesome, you should listen.
True. That's very true. Hi, I'm Paxton. I am playing Strephon Daly, who I suppose we will get to know as the story gets going. I am fairly new to the streaming and actual play sphere. I'm also present on a lot of Discords, but if you... Oh, that's my cat, Suki. She says hello to everyone, and she will be saying hello constantly.
Bonjour,
so
Suki.
I hope... but anyway, if you want to hear more of me, I am present in the Applied Materials podcast occasionally, and I also record some actual play stuff with my friends on our YouTube channel, Roll for That.
There we go. And it's Strephon, not...
Yes, it is Strephon.
Okay.
It's Stephen with an R.
I keep wanting to call him Strephon because of it, like Strephon. Like remember when Urkel like took the good juice?
Yeah,
and he became Stefan Urkel. So I'm glad I know it's Strephon because I would have definitely been like, Strephon.
I mean, there could be a number of NPCs who call him Strephon.
Oh yeah, well, there definitely will be at least one.
Excellent.
Strephon Urkel, Strephon Dolly. No. So.
Oh no.
You two, as I said, are members of the 1001. But you within the 1001. There are the 50, and the 50 are hello. The 50 are, the best way to put them is they are the official 1,001. The 50 are tasked with going undercover. The 50 are tasked with being double agents. The 50 are tasked with all these things that even for a, slightly clandestine organization, they are very easily disavowed. And though while you carry the badge of the 1,001, which is a gold coin, you don't always get to use everything at their advantage. You can't just drop into their safe houses or lodges or what have you. But you two particularly were picked up because of your unique place in the world. And so when you get tasked with things, there is a need to keep it under wraps, even from the rest of the organization. And the two of you have been traveling together for a small amount of time right now. I know you have a motorcycle. Do you Do you each have a motorcycle? Is it like motorcycle and side?
Nope.
Is it motorcycle and sidecar? Or
No.
No, it's one motorcycle.
It's like
Strephon has to like hold on to Amy anytime they're riding. Like Amy always drives and Strephon just holds on. And I think, not to speak for you, Paxton, but I feel like the first time Strephon tried to like do the like arms around the waist and got slapped on the hand for it.
I love everything about this. It is.
Yep, that's perfect.
And considering that you two, because of where you are and not having a specific home base, there's a lot of traveling. You have gotten used to riding on the back of this motorcycle. But it is August in the 2020-ish era, and you all find yourselves in Baltimore. And specifically, you have been tasked with meeting representatives of something that Morrison Lemire calls the Great Press. And hold on. I just need to look something up. Let me check my notes. I restarted my phone and now it's open. These representatives are known as the Printer's Devil. The Printer's Devils. And the place you are meeting them is an old, abandoned, and Baltimore is unfortunately a city of many abandoned places, but this is this old, abandoned, it used to be a newspaper distributing center, like warehouse, back in the height of deep Baltimore newspapers, which is like, you're talking, 1920, like 20s and 30s and stuff. And now it's just this like decrepit old building, but that's where you're being asked to meet them. Where do you go? I mean, how do you approach this?
What kind of information were we given about this group? Like what to expect, or the people that we were meeting with?
Lemire wants something from them, and they are going to give you a task to earn you what Lemire needs. And so within reason, you are supposed to accept what they are doing, what they ask of you. And you're not certain how many you're going to meet. It's not supposed to be a particularly large group. You were just given a time, late at night in this building. There's not a lot of, when you roll up, there doesn't seem to be a lot of other creatures about, either human or Mysteria. You see a few rats scatter around, as in any urban place. A stray cat probably walks across the top of a building. But otherwise, it's just a number of derelict buildings and a door in front of you. If you want, you can both give me notice checks, and I can tell you sort of where we're feeling right now. I forgot to
Ooh, I
give
would love
you
to.
your things. Hold on.
Bennies?
Ooh,
Your adventure cards.
You're getting
adventure
cards?
cards.
I didn't know we were getting adventure
You
cards.
are. I forgot to
Oh my
give you your
God.
adventure cards.
Oh, that
Benny, how
is
could you?
extremely exciting.
What kind of adventure cards rules are we doing here? Are we doing the standard rules, or are we doing like some homebrew stuff?
Right now it's standard. I
Okay.
am not like whatchamacallit. I'm still getting the feel for adventure cards.
I am not
Mm,
good.
And so
well, me neither.
because of that, I feel like it's necessary before I go a home brewing to just go a normal brewed. No, brewed? Is that how it's made? Like
Just brew, I think.
pre, pre,
I don't think you have to like adjust the tense of the word brew in
I
this
mean,
sense.
it could be home brewed,
I mean,
Um,
pre-brewed cards. Is that what we're going for?
Instant cards.
Yeah, instant brewed.
these are really like macro brew, mass market appeal,
Yeah.
adventure cards.
Yeah. Okay. I ask because most of the games I play in, we have one card that we're in hand that we can use that session.
Yes.
And if we don't use it that session, we keep it for the next session, and then we draw a card at the start of the next session and discard down to 1 again.
That is actually a really good way of doing it, and probably would be even more helpful. Yeah, I like that. So I will give you one if you want. Or I'll give one, and then if you don't use it, next time we play. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... All right, I'm going to draw...
I gotta get my bennies. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Ooh. Do I want to use exciting bennies or just these poker chips?
Exciting bennies!
Exciting bennies it is.
Dang. All right, so this is... All right, based on a random table. I'm gonna... All right, Jackie, I'm dropping this one to you in our chat with you. I'm trying. I've only like half. I haven't looked at it. Oh no, it's too big.
We start with 3 bennies, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Unless you have edges or hindrances that say otherwise.
Yep. Meow. So how would we like to how would we like to continue? What are you going to do?
We were gonna do a notice roll, right?
If you wanted to, sure.
I do. I like notice.
I would love to notice a thing.
Where can I look for my adventure card? Because
I'm working on putting it up right now.
Oh, no problemo. Which D8 do I want to use? Okay.
The notice I just rolled is a straight up 4.
4.
I got a 6.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
With a 4 and a 6, there are sounds inside of shuffling. And with a 4, the same thing. You can hear that there are things. As I said, this is a pretty quiet night, and so the sounds from inside. You probably can even like detect a flicker of light in the inside, like through one of the cracked windows, boarded up windows. And so that's where you are there. But within this, as I said, other than that, you just hear the skittering of animals perhaps the movement down the street of one of the many homeless people that live in Baltimore. So,
Hmm.
but that is where you are there.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's all you have there.
Paxton,
Yes.
do you think Strephon and Amy have been working together long enough that there are some things that they don't need to talk about to communicate or anything? Like the approach of such a meeting spot?
I think that seems like a reasonable guess. We've done at least a couple of things together for sure.
Yeah. So how's Strephon feeling about this? What do you think his vibe in the moment is?
I think Strephen's vibe is normally have the kind of unassuming, disarming man walk in first, and then, if need be, the scary lady can save his ass.
Okay. Do you think it feels like something that they've done before where Strephon acts as I don't know if face is the right word because I don't know if either of us are really statted for that.
No.
But like
Not particularly.
No.
Not compared to certain players already in this game.
The players who's covered wars, the I imagine we often implement the guise of Strephon is the person to talk to and Amy is just a bodyguard, quiet and silent and standing angrily in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That feels about right.
I'm fine if that's how we handle our approach on this one too, where it's just a matter of brain. I'm so sorry. Where like Amy will open the door and take a look in, but you are the person who walks in first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
deal?
that feels about right. Yeah. So when after Amy checks in the door, if she doesn't see anything, Strephon will hobble in. And we probably get our first good look at Strephon here. He looks a little bit like if Ed Sheeran had just hatched out of an egg.
Yikes.
He has a wide kind of triangular face, unruly red hair that somehow always seems a little bit wet. His facial hair comes out in patches, so he always shaves it as best he can. But he's trying to get some sideburns going, and it's not working very well. But he walks with a cane, and so he makes his kind of slow, a little bit almost unsteady way inside the building.
Yep. And inside,
and then stops to look around.
It's a relatively unfurnished building. You see old pulleys and hoists and like chains that were used to move boxes and plats of paper around hanging from the ceiling, but they're pretty rusted and nasty at this point. The ground has had many different itinerants living in it, so it's just detritus filled in garbage. But they're in the middle of this big empty space, and it actually is a pretty good space to have chosen for a neutral meeting. It's pretty open. There's not a lot of places to do an ambush based on what you know. I don't think you are a military tactician by any regards, but you feel like it is open enough that you are comfortable entering, and that you can pretty much count, as well as you can count on anything in the Mysteria, you can count on them coming with the with good intentions, right? There's no maliciousness here. But standing in front of you are 3 figures. 2 are in white robes, just pure white. And there's like but there's also like a smattering of black. Like it's really just like someone like flicked a paintbrush with their thumb, and then behind or in front of that person, so they're sort of standing on the side of one figure, and standing in just a step in front of them is another person who is also in a robe, but their robe is covered more in ink. It's almost like or more in black. It looks more like it's almost like staring at as someone is wearing a Rorschach test. But if it ran from like neck to feet, there's just all these mottled blots everywhere. And you can't really look too long at it. It kind of makes your eyes hurt if you stare especially like your eyes, Strephon, with like it swims a little bit, but around this person's neck is this very large typesetter block. Does that with the letter W on it, and it like hangs around their neck like basically like a huge medallion. Except it's not very blingy. It just like it like hangs with weight. It's heavy and wood, a thick cord. It's not embossed. It's not fancy.
Right. It's less bling, more a symbol of office, maybe.
Exactly. Right. There's no Flava Flav in this experience. So that's like not the look. But yes, the 3 of them are standing there, sort of looking at you as you walk in. Not sort of. They are actually standing there.
They are actually standing there and looking at us.
Yeah.
Actively standing and looking, yes.
Oh gosh. Hello, Suki. So Strephon would step in a couple more steps and then stop and just lean on his cane and give them a smile and say, good day. And I was told that we would be meeting with representatives of the press.
The 2 on either side of W nod their head in deference as W says, and you have... I am said representative.
Good. Gosh. So our instructions were to go to them and get whatever, or have them tell us what they wanted us to do before they would give us the okay.
Find out the favor for the thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think this entire time Amy has just been by the door. She closed it behind her, and she's staying a little further away. Still well within an easy like dash forward to be by Strephon, but like very much not moving forward to be a part of the conversation or be an active point at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Your master seeks a boon with us. And like you can tell that this person's throat or voice is this is not a person. It's like raspy and dry is the best way to put it. Like they're having some serious laryngitis. I'm just like
Yes, I have been told that. What or he told us that you wished for us to do something for you first. I am called Strephon. What would you have of the 1001?
Fuck, that was creepy.
And he sort of cocks his head to the side, but not always Strephon called. Knowledge like that given by the great press is not easily given. A boon for a boon. And, you know, at this point, up until this point, his, like, arms have been in one of, like, these jobs where it's, like, hands in front. And he pulls out, he moves his hands out, and he's holding 3 envelopes.
Ooh.
Your choice of things that must come to pass or must not. Have you approached them? Like, he's holding these things. How close are you to him at this point?
I'm probably like at least 5 or 6 feet away at this point.
Okay.
But if he's holding them out, I would step forward.
Yeah, this is very much like you can feel you have enough of this feeling that this is a flex. He is definitely trying to make you feel like you need to come forward.
Absolutely.
Right? He's not like he's feeling this. So on the card there are 3 on each envelope has a different image on it. One is a mouth with a finger across it, like a shush. One is a bloated body, and there are like ripples around the sides of it, almost simulating water. And then the last of it is the last of it is hold on. Let me bring up my notes. The last of it is a spooky, like a decrepit, spooky looking house, like you would expect to see there. But your choice of the path. All need to be done, but not by you alone.
Let's see. How would I go about this? Strephon just kind of calls over his shoulder. Amy, Do you like haunted houses or corpses better? Or maybe secrets?
Oh God. I think so. The facade of silent bodyguard was being
Mhm.
chipped away at the slow speed of the conversation. Um,
We both
her-
talk so slowly.
you both talk so slowly. um, this is a person who drives a motorcycle. She likes to get stuff done. I think over the course of the conversation, her folded arms got a little tighter and her foot maybe have started tapping lightly. And upon being directly addressed, she steps forward finally into some proper light. And I think now would be the best time to describe
Oh
her.
yes, please.
Amy stands above average for a woman. Her form is lithe but solid. She's almost always wearing a biker jacket and some biker pants because, you know, you're in the city, you're going to be traveling, and we travel on bikes. So why would she do anything else? Her features would probably be considered, gosh, like dainty if it weren't for the amount of intense anger that seems to rest on her face at all times. Like it is marred by the emotion that she carries always. She has, I think, most notably, two really deep but healed scars. One on her left cheek and one on her right temple, heading towards her eyebrow. Her hair is very apparently dyed, because towards the ends it's a very vibrant blue that then fades into a purple, and her auburn roots are just barely starting to show. Um, and she always carries with her a very like a long black umbrella. So she was called and asked this question, and she finally moves forward. Uh, God, I think how tall is Strephon?
Oh, he is. He's like 5'11", I think, like a little bit average-ish, right? Yeah, 5'11".
Okay, so Strephon stands a little taller than Amy. I think she had approached almost directly from behind him and then steps to the side a little more in line of sight of the representatives of the great press, and takes a look at these envelopes, pondering Strephon's question. I don't really know about any of these, if I'm going to be honest with you. Do we get any additional information, or is this it?
The path you take will come with information, but I cannot reveal until a choice is made.
Amy looks to Strephon and is like, "Can you do anything? Can you tell us anything? Do you got anything going on here?"
I.
She says that quietly, hopefully that so none of the others hear.
Strephon just shakes his head a little bit. You done? You're gonna go play. Okay.
I think Amy sucks her teeth at that, just as a small noise of distaste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm more personally inclined for the House of the Secrets. Really don't think either of us are a huge fan of water.
Strephon nods and he reaches over and he takes the shushed lips.
Very well. And it's like an envelope, And
Mm.
I think you take a moment and you're holding this envelope. It feels very pulpy, like the paper is that pulp of newspapers.
Mm.
And when you, or if you, I assume you're going, oh, shoot. I assume you open it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you get inside is a newspaper. And the sort of what you notice right off the bat is it is dated 3 days from now.
Okay.
Mm.
Love that.
And where are you, Clint? And it is a article about 2 bodies that are found in Arizona. So you're in for a rather long trip and saddle sore, as it were. Who have been found at this town in like the middle of nowhere. The best way to put it is, no offense to Yuma, Arizona, but it's in between Yuma and Tucson, in
Ooh,
Arizona,
okay.
just like the middle of the rock desert, nowhere. And these 2 bodies were found in a gas station, with their tongues removed
Ooh.
and hunks of wood shoved into their ears.
Oh.
But as I said, and that's what happens. And then anyway, go ahead. So that's what you have in front of you. The small town is called Alton's Bend.
Were there any names included in the clipping?
No, just that a visitor had come, like a person passing through town, had discovered the 3 people in like a gas station outside of town. And the town it was like probably population 800, if that. It's been like a slowly dying town, but that it had, but that, like, that's it. That's what you have. That a visitor found it. So maybe even population like 400. Yeah, it's a tiny
No.
town. Like these people.
Dang.
That is a tiny town.
Yeah, and most of these people. Yeah, so that's what you have. And
I think Amy looks at the clipping, reads through it real fast, and then looks up at W. Is this one of those gots to happen or shouldn't happen things?
Their death must happen. But what comes next is unforeseen. And he like licks his lip with this like dry tongue. Like it's just like And now that you're like looking at the 3 of them, you notice that the other 2, that their mouths are stapled shut. They have like the news, like tiny thin staples that like hold newspapers together. And that W, if you really look, has tiny white pinprick scars across his mouth.
Hate it. So
That's
what do you need us
delightful.
to do?
We don't know if this is a must come or a shouldn't. And it perplexes us.
So you don't even know what the favor is?
The favor is to visit.
And you just wish us to learn everything we can?
We tell the news. Either the future or the past. You should know better. You serve the storyteller.
All right. Do you have a deadline for this story?
He sort of quirks his lip. Like, up to this point, he's been pretty, like stoic, but, you know, with your little quip of deadline, he can't help but, like, give you a little, like, wry smile. Clever. When the story is done, you will bring it back to us. And we will report it as things are meant to be printed. Do this, and we will be in your master's boon.
So we're just reporters.
Muckrakers, perhaps.
It's the middle of the desert. There's not going to be a lot of muck to rake.
Well, that depends on how many animals are around.
Ugh.
You know, if there are horses, there's plenty of muck. Anyway.
You're very amusing.
Thank you.
Every sentence that crawls out of this being's mouth just seems to pull more and more patience from Amy's very soul. She is not having a good time.
All right.
Then my work here is done.
Absolutely. Strephon turns to Amy and says, "Well, Wurs, do you feel like a long road trip, or should we find a different way of traveling?"
I don't know if I necessarily want to discuss our travel plans in front of these people.
You're right.
No offense. She throws towards the people mentioned.
They won't
Strephon.
be talking.
Even more no offense, but I think that includes you. Anyway, have you any last bits of information we might find useful, or shall we adjourn?
Any rules we need to be aware of? We don't want to accidentally null and void this IOU.
Well, I believe saying tell no one is a given.
Yeah, no shit.
Then I believe our business is done until you return.
Excellent, thank you. Is it going to be here? Are we going to meet back here? Do we need to contact you in some way? Do you reach out to us? How does this whole thing end?
When you are done, we will know, and you may return here.
Okay, thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you all. I'm leaving now. Bye. Amy leaves.
Strephon limps after her.
I'm sorry.
Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
So yeah, so you, how do you all travel there from Baltimore?
Well, what's the travel time if we took the roads?
If you took the roads and like
Yeah.
slept and stuff, I don't
Maybe.
know, like 3 to 4 days. Not not terrible. It's an easiest enough drive. A long drive, but an easiest enough drive.
Let me see. I am definitely going to Google Maps to see.
Baltimore.
I could possibly do it in 2 days.
Now hear me out. What if plane tickets?
Yeah, that was the thought of like we could fly. I don't have any issue with flying. We would just end up having to rent something because Amy does not want to be without a vehicle. of some
Yeah.
sort.
And I guess that it would be a little bit of a problem. I don't know. Some of our luggage might be a little suspicious.
No, I just have an umbrella. I don't know what you mean. It's just an umbrella. Don't you go eating that plant web. Don't do it.
We're having more cat troubles.
Eat
Web is
the
a
plant.
scamp.
Eat the plant.
Let's see. I mean, if Jackie says we can do the trip in 2,
It's a 37-hour drive. You could do it
Jesus
in 2.
Christ, could, yeah.
Yes.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Oh, we were just talking 37-hour trip.
On a
Of course,
motorcycle.
that is assuming speed limits are
Yes.
obeyed.
I mean, you could do it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I could do it in like 2 days, and that's including stop and rest. It would be like
You could do it in 48. With a little bit of sleep. So
I'm okay with flying. Like, I feel like it's safe to assume that we don't have to necessarily worry about the financial side of travels since we work for an organization like the 1001.
Oh, that reminds me, by the way, you both have, by working for the 1001, you have a D8 wealth die. I went and read I went and read the rules. Everyone starts with a D6 wealth die, but because you work for this organization, D8. I read into the wealth dice rules, and I'm like, yes, this is excellent. So
delightful.
Thank you to, I think it was Allie who suggested it. I don't know if you're listening, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, so getting plane tickets and renting a bike, and when we get there would be no issue. I think as much as Amy would like to drive there herself and have her own vehicle, time, especially with not knowing if it needs to happen or if it doesn't need to happen and all of that ambiguous bullshit that we were just fed, it's going to be one of those things where she would rather get there with time to decide and understand the situation. So flying is probably going to be her choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
And Strephon would back that up.
Okay, so
it would also make Strephon's traveling a little easier, I'm sure.
Yeah,
significantly better.
Mississippi.
Oh no! I mean, the suspension bridges are probably high up enough that it wouldn't be that much of a problem.
Yes. So the question is there anything you want to make sure you have or do before you leave? I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think Strephon would want to make sure to have plenty of his dietary supplements available.
Yeah. And the nice thing about Baltimore is there is in fact a market if you want to go through there, a nightmare market, and you may purchase the food you need if you want to go that way. It's not what you're used to, because it tends to be more dried meats, dried berries, fruits, jams,
right. Stuff with a shelf life.
Right, stuff with a shelf life. It's specifically designed for the travel. And but very very packable. But there's only so much you can bring on a plane if we're going to be they're not like, hey, can I have this cooler of food? I mean, you could, but just know that even with the actually, why don't you give me? I don't even know what to make you roll.
I mean, what's the purpose of it?
How many days worth of stuff you can pack in? I think in general, you probably could pack. You can certainly pack for 3 days, no problem. They'll probably sell that. But yeah, actually, let's just say 3 days. You can probably 3 days worth of definite ration it. You don't know what's around Alton's Bend. And how do you travel with the necessary markings or the necessary materials to summon your person if necessary?
I think I probably have to. That's that feels like it would be a condition of my my situation, my parole, so to speak.
Yeah, your parole. So, I think you definitely, and Amy is used to it, especially when you travel by bike. But there is, I don't know if you know those tubes that architects travel with.
Yeah,
you have that, but they are full of young saplings that never seem to die, and they always seem to but I will say that the travel is not whatchamacallit is not but that you can check those. And Jackie, what is Amy doing?
My own packing needs kind of come with the stipulation that of it being fresh. So I don't think that's necessarily something I can pack for.
Nope.
This whole layer of magical beings existing in tandem with our mundane world, is it the entire fucking earth has this thing going on? So I could potentially, wherever we land, we could potentially get supplies needed there.
Sure. If you were to arrive in a place like Tucson or Phoenix, major cities are going to have Mysteria hellbounds. There are small cities out there, small towns, yes or no. There are even Mysteria-only towns that are no one goes with, because not everyone can necessarily, wants to live underground. If you're a huge floating eyeball, you know what I mean? You're not really gonna get to or a huge floating brain. You can't just pass yourself off as oh, someone's pulling me around and I'm a helium-filled balloon. That doesn't work. Like that's not your gimmick.
Like the inflatable costumes,
Right.
Where it's the back half, yeah, and they're like pretending they're being dragged away by an alien or something,
Right.
but it's their own legs.
Yeah, like there's like
they have an inflatable child on a stick.
Yeah.
that they're leading.
Yeah, that they're leading along. Exactly. Right.
I feel like that would work.
It's like one of those like inflatable dinosaur costumes, but they're the dinosaur.
Yes.
So sometimes people just want to like live comfortably and not to be like Hotel Transylvania or anything, but there are those towns spotted
Right.
like not
There's
many.
there's Hotel Transylvania.
There is in fact a hotel. Yes, there are Hotel Transylvanias. And small towns all around. Knowing, like, I don't think you could give me a general knowledge roll, but I would argue that, like, in that particular area, you don't know anything in particular. You don't know Alton Bank well enough to do anything one way or the other.
No.
Small towns like that at most may have one.
My thought process is within the Mysteria, there are suppliers for every need. And so if I don't have some before we leave, I can have some when we land before we go out to the middle of bumblefuck nowhere.
Yes.
So, like,
because we're probably flying into Tucson.
Yeah.
And then driving there.
Yeah. And then
my needs are a little less frequent than Strephon's, I believe. So I can get away with not having to pack for it. So I honestly don't think Amy brings more than herself, her clothes, her umbrella, like just normal things that you would pack and bring with you.
Although you do get a look when you pack your umbrella on the airplane. They're like, you do know you're going to the desert.
I don't want to get burned and I don't like sunscreen. Bite my ass.
And like the guy's like, all right. All right. So
it's my carry-on, mind your business.
Does that thing still underneath your seat? Blah blah. Right? And like they're shitty or whatever. But like you give them staff. But it's ultimately a very nice airplane ride. You land in Phoenix.
Is there?
Go ahead.
Is there a Mysteria brand airplane?
There aren't. There are Mysteria. Yeah. There are Mysteria bus lines. Like if you want to travel that way, like you can take a bus, but most major.
What's it called?
Oh my god.
Gray Man.
Yeah.
They're not Greyhounds. They're Gray Man.
Yes, a Greyhound. Yes, a Greyhound driven by an actual hound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like,
good enough.
I mean, the thing is like trains used to be really popular, except the problem is that the tracks are no longer owned by train companies. Tracks are now owned by corporations. Because Amtrak can't own their own trains. They're too expensive, which is why Amtrak runs like garbage. Sorry, Amtrak. Because if a corporation needs to like, but you know what? We don't need to go into train details in politics. We need like a nationalized train service. That's all I'm gonna say.
Period.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I know it ultimately doesn't matter, but does Strephon have preference on what airline we fly?
Probably not.
Okay. I think Amy would shell out for Delta.
Nice.
Delta.
It's just the most comfortable in my opinion.
Yeah, you can fly Delta.
Business class.
Oh yeah. We got a D8 Wilf die. Of course we're flying business. No economy for me.
Strephon needs leg room, so
yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you need all that. You get your right, and you're offered something nice. Strephon, I think you feel it when you fly over the Mississippi. Like just like
it's just such a large river.
It's such a large river. You definitely like feel it in your guts.
Oh, so glad we flew then.
Yeah. Yeah. Crossing the Mississippi I think you've had to do it a number of times on the motorcycle, and it always messes you up for like
for days.
Yeah, like you have to like crossing the Mississippi for you it's like a whole day gone. You
Mm.
park right in front of it, you drive over it, and then the rest of the day is recovery for you. Because it's such a large, especially in like flood season and stuff.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's messed you
Oh,
up.
I've probably never been to St. Louis then.
No,
Can you imagine
no.
driving around the Mid Rivers area?
Yeah, never St. Louis.
Anyway.
You don't go to Pittsburgh, the city of three rivers. Like, it's just not your bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get there pretty easily. You land. Amy, you're able to find your needs. And I think at that point we're gonna take a bio break, because a 5-minute break, because we've been playing for an hour.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies when you're having fun. All right.
And when a guy talks so fucking slow. Okay.
All right. We'll be back in 7 to 10 minutes, depending.
See you soon.
Yep. unmute. Hello and welcome back. Hooray, it's us to the second part of Deals with the Devils. It is so hot. It's so hot. In
it's
Tucson.
so hot.
And like you almost wish that your umbrella was actually a usable umbrella because it's about an hour and a half bike ride, like straight into the desert to get to Alton's Bend. And it's 93 degrees. It is sunny. And while Arizona,
it's so dry.
Arizona doesn't get super humid. Certainly not like where I live, but I've also lived in Arizona. But it's one of those heats that is hot enough that if you are not aware of how hot it is, you will very quickly get heat stroke because it's like the sweat on your head is only there long enough to evaporate. And so you pack up you travel real well with water. You're paying attention to those things. But still, especially you, Amy, you're feeling the sun a little bit more. And you strike me as a character who dresses a lot in black.
Yeah.
So you are baking and red-faced and sweaty by the time you roll into Alton's Bend on the let's see, it's like a day and a half or a day after you got the mission, the job, because no one flies off to Tucson in the middle of the night from Baltimore, and you all instead you all are you had to book and then wait a day, and then it's like a 6 hours, so it's probably close to 3 p.m. It's getting close to 3 p.m. You drove.
So we just passed the hottest point of the day, and so it's still just fucking baking.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. It's still it's. I would say it's probably about 96 degrees, and it's. There are clouds in the sky. Weather report says that you're expecting one of the few thunderstorms that they're going to get this season tomorrow. So it's a very pregnant heat. So even though it's
everything about that,
even though it's only about 30% humidity in 99-degree weather, even 30% humidity is there. And you roll into this town of Alton Bend, and by roll into, I mean, if you're not careful, you will roll in and through Alton's Bend.
Is it not even a one stop sign town?
Maybe one. So there are a number of towns, having lived in Arizona for a little while, there are towns in Arizona that if you are going 60 miles an hour, you will be through that town in 2 minutes. Because it's only a 2-mile long town. Examples are Strawberry, Arizona, and Show Low, Arizona. Show Low was named because it was won by its first mayor in a poker's game. Because he bluffed. He showed low and then named the town. But that's in the mountains. That's about 4 hours north of where you are. So it doesn't matter. But yes, it's like maybe one stop sign. There is an RV park on the outside. It is a convenient with semi, it's just like stucco and concrete outhouse buildings. There's probably a shower there. It may at one point have had a railroad station, but that's long gone, and the railroads that are there are unused and dusty. It's off the interstate by a significant amount. It's just this like small town. There is one elementary school, one middle school, and probably the students who live there are bused to a high school that's in the middle, that like gathers from a bunch of other towns that are like this around it, because it is like these sort of 400 to 700 people towns, 1,000 people towns, are kind of dotted all over this area. They're kind of like the Acne of the desert. And I would probably argue that the average age of this town is well into the 40s and 50s, because the best thing to do in a town like this is to get the fuck out of it.
Just to move out, yeah.
Right.
Important question.
Mm-hmm.
How many gas stations?
3.
3 gas stations.
3 gas stations. Like there's one in the middle. There's like one out. There's like one on either side of the town, because it's like
one going in, one going out, and then one in the middle for those who
yeah,
actually live
like,
there.
Yeah, exactly. And they're probably the one in the middle and the one on the other side. They're probably like 2 miles out on either side, and there's the only reason that they can get the business that they do is because there are no other gas stations for miles. So people tend to like creep into town on fumes. And depending on where they've crossed over or are planning on crossing over into Mexico, because you're not super far from the border. You're maybe a 2-hour drive from the border, maybe. Because you're pretty much like Yuma is the southernest most town, like I think before you cross into the border, and you're not that far from Yuma. Yuma's a pretty big town, but you're more east than Yuma, so you're closer to the Gulf.
Okay.
So yeah, and there is a Motel 6.
Love that.
You actually know the gas station where this is
because
going to happen.
It's in the article.
It's in the article. Who was killed is not in the article. Just victim, just like male 22, female 21, are there.
So which of the 3 gas stations is it? Is it the one in the center of the town?
No, it's the one going out from where
going
you are.
out?
Okay.
It's the one
going out
from
where you are.
So would that be heading towards Yuma?
Away from Yuma.
Away from Yuma.
Okay.
Let me bring up a map. Make sure I'm right. Where are you, Yuma?
Is it on the Tucson side or the Yuma side?
Well, Yuma is like basically. Hold on.
I don't know geology.
All right, hold on. Let me show you.
Thank you for laughing at my very dumb joke.
Your jokes are always delightful.
So
I thought you were going to say
no.
always dumb. Both are true.
So hold on. I'm going to put this up into our Discord chat, and I'll show you the map of it because. There you go. This is going to help you. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be helpful to you. It is right. So you sort of been driving over. So Yuma's over there. You are. My guess is it's like. I guess you came into Phoenix. You are. No, you're still in. It is more of the space between the Tahoma Otoham National Reservation and Yuma. Like it's in that sort of dark area.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like
so
right on Route 8. It's near like Road and Tacna and Dateland.
Gotcha.
Probably like the biggest town. It's not far from like the Oregon Pipe Cactus Monument area. So, there are a lot of like wildlife reserves around you, but that's what it is.
So gas station in question is
Closer to
eastern.
Yes, it's eastern. So it's closer to. So I guess that's coming in because you're coming from the Tucson area. So yeah, coming in, right? You're not quite in Yuma because you're like right in the middle. So yes, the eastern side from where you are.
Okay.
And it's just like your general old Shell gasoline, your regular old Shell, fuel station, gas station, yeah. And they are. It's not even as like fancy as a Sheetz. You know what I mean? Like they don't even have like the place that serves Sheetz sandwiches. It's just like it probably is actually an independently owned gas station. There's a when you show up, there is a sign. I'm assuming you said you're going there. Yes. Is that?
We're headed that direction.
Okay.
That's going to be the first gas station we encounter. So, all the more reason to stop there.
Sure.
And I don't know, get a read of the space.
Yeah. When you get there, as I said, it's white. The buildings are white stucco. Everything is is covered in a lot of dust. This person, it's not the windows haven't been washed, so they're pretty they're pretty sandy at times. It's this is like a Red Rock area. But it still gets kind of dusty around. There's a big sign that says "We sell rattlesnake jerky." In the window,
of course,
like homemade.
I don't know if I've tried that before.
There is a vending machine for soda, but it's not like a new vending machine. It's one of those vending machines that has like wood paneling on it. You know what I'm talking about? Like a wood paneling vending soda machine, like that says like Pepsi, but it's the old Pepsi logo. And like it's sun faded because it's just sat there forever. It may only take coins, actually. Yes, there's no dollar feeder at all. It only takes coins.
That's wonderful. Let's see. I think Strephon would go inside. You said there's a little building there.
Yeah. Where they sell their jerky out of, and
absolutely. And so Strephon would go in and like buy a couple of bottles of water.
They are ridiculously marked up.
Oh, I'm sure. It's absurd. But anything for something a little bit cold, right?
Is it cold?
It is cold.
Are they refrigerated water?
Oh yeah, it is ice cold.
Good.
It is ice cold. And the person behind the counter he's got a little he's got a patch name tag that says Kenny on it.
Kenny.
He's got, near as you can tell, the way he chews at stuff. He's got no teeth. Would be your guess. Or very few tests. There's a very specific way that people with limited teeth chew. And so that's what he's doing. Oh, I had forgotten that. Yureen, what is it with me and jerky? Apparently that's my like what type of jerky a town makes is their inroad to it.
We have a little tourist town up in the mountains called Helen, Georgia, that has so many jerky stores.
Oh my god, it's so like jerky is a thing. Like
it's a thing.
Like I love driving around America and seeing what sort of jerky they sell, like bear, moose, whatever. I love the ones that are like stop on by and jerky your own meat. I've never jerkied my own meat, which is a really weird. Which is a really.
That is a sentence.
And
Sorry.
it's recorded.
Yep. Ben Hatton.
Mm,
That's gonna. If you like, I know how people are like, this is my new like album or favorite band. I always like to say this is what they're gonna put on my on my tombstone. Ben Hatton.
yeah.
I've never jerkied my own meat. Like that's the name of my memoir.
Yeah.
Right now it's going to be Ben Hatton. I've never watched an episode of Game of Thrones. That's my what I want.
That should be a crowning achievement.
That's gonna be my weird like death flex.
Death Flex is my favorite band.
Death flex is my favorite.
Wow, what a good goof.
Thank you.
Boom.
That one actually sounds really good.
But yes, so Kenny's there. He's got long, stringy, graying hair. His skin is super tan. He's got that like waddle that old guys get, like just
like a goiter.
Yeah, just like.
I think that improved nutrition would help that probably.
Well, seeing
Anyway.
as he is just like legitimately eating his own jerky.
God damn it!
God damn it! Yeah, he's just like he's got like a small Ziploc bag of dried meat that he is
of dried a prairie dog or something.
Something that he is like and he's got there's a really noisy air conditioner that is going, and it is somewhat cooler in this building, good day.
A good day. Strephon would set the like 2 bottles of water down and start fishing for a $5 bill or something for 2 bottles of water. Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, are there any large mirrors around here inside the building?
There's one of those like fisheye mirrors above the door. Interestingly enough, like he doesn't actually need it because the room that he has is not really big enough to shoplift from. I suppose like there's one corner, it's just like a standard, probably, I don't know, 15 by 12, if that, with coolers along one side and a rack of snacks in the middle. And then on the other side of the rack, there's probably like, porno mags in like plastic bags with black, and but it's also like right next to the maps of the local area. And but that's what I would,
Okay. That's good to know.
But yeah, it's just that one big fish land. You can see yourself in it. You're all distorted and bloated and.
Yep. Strephon just makes a habit of noting mirrors in rooms that he's been in case he ever needs them later. Let's see. Words. Do you want some jerky?
Honestly, I was going to ask if the pumps are pay inside just because of how old they are, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think initially our probably Amy and Strephon's go-to gas station habit is Strephon goes inside while Amy deals with gas. And so Strephon just like hopped off and went that way, and then Amy's like looking at the gas pump and she's like, God fucking damn it, and then goes inside and slaps down money on the counter for the gas.
Obliged. And as you were both leaving, like, close travel partners.
Oh gosh.
What?
This is not the easiest way to travel by motorcycle together.
She just gives him a withering look, and without like turning away, grabs one of the maps of the area and slaps it on the counter. It's like, do I need to pay for this?
No. No, thank you. Comes with the water.
Okay, good. And she takes the map and then she goes to pump the gas.
And he like turns to you, Strephon, and gives you like a wink, like
Like, oh, this one.
Oh, good on you.
right, like
Like,
Oh, really? Like
quite
you're really dating up there.
yeah, quite a feisty one.
oh, what a catch.
Me, I like him a little bigger.
Thanks for the water.
He like fishes into it, like as you're leaving, he like fishes into his pocket and pulls out a menthol cigarette and just
Can't imagine why he doesn't have any teeth.
It's probably brushing. But like yes, and as you get the if you're to look at the picture that you have, check it again. I don't know if you're going to compare the two, but like it's important to like he's not reported as one of the dead bodies. Like that's an important thing to think about. Like the two people that are dead there are like young people in their 20s. You don't see like the picture you have is of like outdoors with like the local county like coroner, but the picture is definitely taken with like as the paramedics are loading the bodies. So it's like across like if you were to like map it out, it's like across the street. Like you could like see where it's taken from, like across the street, and like the bodies are in bags.
Is there any indication in the article if the people who were found dead were local or strangers traveling?
Backpackers. That's what you got.
Okay.
The idea is that like two local backpackers.
Okay.
Interesting. And he said there is a photo. It probably doesn't have a close up on their faces.
No,
given the details
It's just
of
the body bags.
it's just
the way the
bags.
bodies are.
Yeah, it's just body bags, and it's from far away, right?
Yeah. But it did say that they're both young, like 21 and 22.
Yeah. Probably like
So definitely.
probably like they couldn't at the time. They're you can assume that they're probably like college kids or whatever, like backpacking in the summer or like hiking the area. So.
Anything interesting on the little map that I got?
Does it?
Because if kids are coming to backpack in this area, it probably is going to advertise points of interest, and then somebody who's not Amy could maybe do some research to see if it's if there's anything associated with that has to deal with like mysterious.
Man, like I want to be like roll for luck, but that's not something here. So
okay, so personal opinion,
you can always roll for luck.
You can always just bring shit in, like it's randomness if you're unsure if it's included. I'm down to roll for luck.
Yeah, why don't you just give me a 50-50 roll? You could also spend a Benny, because Benny's
I'll fucking spend a Benny for that. Done.
Because one thing that remember, one of the spends of the Benny is to manipulate the
add details to the story.
To the story. So if you want to spend a Benny, then absolutely you can add this detail.
I'm spending my Tuca Benny for this.
Great.
Oh, Tuca's the best girl.
There is a like an advertisement. So like it's pretty boring. There is there is like Oregon cactus tours. Like you drive out into the desert and drive through the Oregon cactus. They're beautiful. There's a nature preserve to the north. Again, it's like full of woodpeckers and what roadrunners and stuff, and you can see like snakes. But I think the thing that catches your super attention, like right off the bat, is the dome graveyard tour. And it's just like, yeah, and it's like there are these like weird, like in the image that you see, there are these weird concrete domes apparently north of town.
Oh, fun.
That have like name like and it's like and the town calls it the dome graveyard. And
Spicy.
and so that is like that's the thing that they have.
So I think I don't know how much longer in the shop Strephon is in comparison to Amy, but when he does come out, she's leaning against the bike as it's being filled with gas and just looking at the map that she grabbed, and taps it twice and passes it over to him as like, "Dome Graveyard Tour." Don't know what it means, but it's interesting, right?
It does sound interesting. I can. Do you want to go there, or do you want to look into it a little first?
I mean, I'm always a person of caution, you know.
Mhm.
Get information before we jump in feet first.
How likely do you think it is the Motel 6 has good Wi-Fi?
She shrugs non-committally. I don't fucking know. I'm not in small towns like this often enough. Is there? I mean, yeah, we have to check in at the motel, but honestly, I am starving and would much rather get something at a diner. I'm hungry. I want coffee. What do you want from me?
All right. Let's find a diner. There's probably one diner in this town.
Yeah, you've like sweat out all the caffeine that you had that morning.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, caffeine and heat stroke.
Yeah, what a mess. Yeah. You get there and the diner is the, I just like there should, that like you ever wish there were just like random tables? I think this is called the Divine Diner. And it's just like, but it's like DEE-Vine.
By D.
Yeah, and when you walk in, as you're walking in, there's like a picture of like outside, like it's inside the window, but you can see it as you're walking up, and it's just this picture of this woman with this like huge beehive. The picture's probably from, I don't know, like the 1960s when beehives were popular, and it shows like there's a little like a gold plaque above it that's like our founder, and it's like Deirdre.
Her name.
Yeah, her name's Deirdre. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like Deirdre D. Like Reuben. Yeah. Like no, but like she just took, or it's actually like Deirdre Divine Reuben is her name. Yeah, that's who it is.
His name is Reuben.
That's her last name. Yeah, which is like great because, and actually like there's even a thing that says like try Reuben's Reuben.
Yes.
But like they're spelled differently. Like hers is like Ribin, and then like Reuben, home of the Reuben. Although you can't imagine that it is easy to get like good corned beef in the Southwest of America in the middle of nowhere. Like it doesn't happen. but you go in and it's just like, probably 5 stools and like 3 booths.
Grab a booth, of course, a
Yeah.
booth,
Of
always.
course.
And Amy sits facing the door.
And someone, this person comes out from behind. She's probably in her like mid 40s. And she sort of she bears a resemblance to the person there, and she's like, howdy y'all, I'm Cora, Cora Vine, and she gives you a welcome to the Divine Diner.
Can I get a coffee?
Of course.
Black. Thank you.
Oh gosh.
And the menus are already there on the table. They're tucked into the menu holder.
Yeah.
Between the napkin dispenser and the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And
Strephon looks over the menu and says, "You don't have sparkling water, do you?"
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I mean, she's like, we have ice water.
Just ice water for me then.
Soda water.
If you have it.
I mean, yeah, she's it's not like Pellegrino or anything, but she's got a
can.
Absolutely. She's got a can that's blue and says seltzer across it.
Yes.
Right? She's got that.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Maybe
and if not, they at the very least might have the soda tap and they could just attach one of the syrups.
Yeah, this is not one of them.
Just straight carbonated water.
Yeah, this is not what that. Yeah, she pulls it out of a cold case behind. It's just cans.
Blows dust off of it.
Yes.
Right? Puts it down. Gives you a paper wrapped straw. The coffee comes out. It's
it's diner coffee.
It's diner coffee.
It's diner coffee.
It's old.
It's a little burned.
It is so hot. It is piping hot. It has been sitting there for a minute. You got Reuben's. The menu is eggs, Reuben's Reuben, a hamburger.
Is it very akin to Waffle House its menu?
You are giving it way too much credit.
It's one-sided.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, it's definitely one-sided. It's got a hand. You can get a burger. There are eggs several ways. There's probably eggs and then in quotation mark Benedict. There's with because it's not coming out poached. If that's with hollandaise also in quotation marks.
Oh, it's so easy to just make hollandaise. Anyway,
it's so easy.
But
easy to buy too.
But there's also there's rabbit and the rattlesnake. Certainly rattlesnake fritters are a thing. So
do you think there's anything on here that I can trust? I don't
trust the shrimp. There's no seafood.
No, why would I trust?
Oh my god, there probably is a shrimp scampi. You could probably get
oh my god.
Don't order not shrimp scampi. What's cocktail? Shrimp cocktail. There's definitely shrimp cocktail. Don't order that.
Mm-hmm.
But you could eat. I mean, you could, but it'll require a check.
Yeah. Honestly, a place like
Bigger
this.
roll.
Bigger roll. How's that iodine treating you?
Oh God.
But yeah, places like this always get either the special or a burger or a steak.
I think. Gosh, I hope the waitress hasn't been hovering because it takes Amy a minute, but she ends up just ordering a burger.
I mean,
burger and fries.
It's hard not to hover and she's just at the counter. Like,
Yeah,
you're the only
as long
person.
as she's not standing above the table, it's
No,
fine.
no.
And when Amy does order, she just shouts across the room because it's so small
Yeah.
and there's nobody else in here, I'm assuming.
She doesn't even come
Mhm.
around. Like, at some point, she just like sidles over to like directly parallel with you but behind the counter, and she's like, "What would you like?"
Gosh, I think Strephon just asks for a side of fries. And then the Wi-Fi password.
Okay, she does not have Wi-Fi.
Can I spend a Benny for there to be Wi-Fi?
Sure, you can spend a penny for there to be Wi-Fi. Your French
Thank
fries,
you.
Your French fries are going to come with ranch, by the way, not
Okay.
ketchup.
I'll spend my alpaca my bags Benny.
Yeah, because in the Southwest they put ranch on fucking everything.
All over the place.
It's so good. Like, that is where I learned to love ranch on my on my hot wings as opposed to blue cheese.
Now,
And ranch on my pizza.
Is this a house-made
Ranch on pizza is very
ranch,
good, though.
or is this a Hidden Valley ranch?
Oh, it is definitely Hidden Valley.
Okay.
Like, this is like not the place that gives you Hellman's. It's the place that gives you like salad cream. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the sentence salad cream. I hate that so much.
I mean, it's
No
basically
comment.
just like water and mayonnaise. It's like so loose.
Oh. Anyway.
Anywho.
No.
Order made. Wi-Fi achieved.
Yeah.
Amy makes a point to be like, call for the burger to be well done. Like, there is no undercooking.
Cora looks at you like, as if there's any way. All right,
I mean, if asked, she would have offered.
She's like, as if there's any way else.
Anyways.
Finger gun, right? Bing. At Divine, it's always delightful. Yeah. And out. Yeah. Eventually, out comes your food. The French fries are actually pretty good, although they are oily and they taste like slightly, burnt. But they're good. They're very crispy. The burger is surprisingly tasty and surprisingly big. And by I mean surprisingly, I mean it's not really surprisingly because there's like a truck stop and an RV thing, so like people gotta eat.
Got some truckers.
Yeah.
Is it like a 3rd-pound burger or something?
Yeah, like the portions are big, so that you can like tuck in on some carbs before you get on the road for a while. But the coffee's gross, and the seltzer water doesn't have free refills. So if you want another can of seltzer, you're going to have to order it.
Yeah, they never get Europeans here.
No, like they would never even know what to do if someone from Italy showed up. No, that's
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would like to boot up my laptop and do some research about the Dome Graveyard Tour.
All right, go ahead and give me a research roll. Boop, boop,
Excellent. D8 and my wild die, and I got a 7.
I think this is
Nice.
only the second roll of the game. I don't make people.
Yep.
I need to make you all roll more. No. A 7. So with a 7, so that's not quite a raise. But with a 7, what you are like, you get their website, which looks like.
Was it made when the internet started and never updated?
Yeah, like it's like
GeoCities.
I was gonna say it's like an Angel Fire site, or GeoCities. What you get is like the that back in the 70s, there was a group of people. One of them was named Dr. John Hansen, who ran a like wellness retreat and meditation center out there.
Oh.
Those buildings are subsequently gone. Like they just like when it fell apart, the group only lasted for about 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
And the buildings had like subsequently like weren't upkept, and they like the town sort of decided at some point that they were dangerous for like because teenagers were like sneaking in and like whatever. So the town tore down the buildings of the actual meditation center probably like in the 90s, but these like domes uh were like that. There's probably half a dozen, 8 or 9 of them, that were built by this community,
Mhm.
and no one knows what's they're for. Although some people like say that like when you go there, they're like quotes and stuff that are like spookiest
Mhm.
place I've ever been. Bow, like I walked across here. Bow, right?
Mhm.
Lots of like Yelp reviews, but like the weirdest. But you can also like visit, and each dome carries the plaque name of one of the people who like were part of his
Like the founding members.
of the retreat. Hanson doesn't have one. Doesn't have a dome. But like people say that it's like haunted, and if you walk like you can walk the grounds of the old space, etc.
Mhm.
It's $5 to get in. Ask for Kenny. No. No. It's $5, because it's private property. It was bought by, a family a few years, many years back, and they've turned it into like, you walk around you can walk there. It's like $5 for the day, $10 for the night per person if you want to do one of their like spooky walking the grounds tours.
Mhm.
So that's what there is with 7. Like
Awesome.
our history, right? Back in 1970, Dr. John Hanson.
What's the tour schedule like for the domes?
So it's open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Tuesday, so it's closed.
Of course.
Or maybe it's only open like Wednesday through Sunday. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Like Wednesday through Sunday. And it opens at like 3 p.m. to like 9 p.m. That sort of stuff. So that's where it is.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm poisonally intrigued. Poisonally. I don't know if I would have said it like that.
Poisonally.
Poisonally.
Now, would you let me roll my occult knowledge about this now, or should I, or would that require me to actually go there and look at it?
You would have you are welcome to roll an occult knowledge now, but the data that you would get, the knowledge that you would get there or here is going to be very different than the knowledge you would get there.
Gotcha.
Would it hurt to do it twice?
I don't know. It probably wouldn't hurt to do it twice. Doing it now would, like, I'm sure there are some, and I hate this phrase because I don't actually understand how the dark web works. Like, I don't get it. like there are probably some dark web websites. Hoy! Like, I don't know what that is. And it feels like everybody and their mom, like when they're writing like mystery podcasts, are like, I visited the dark web and was able to find a torrent site that took me, like, shut up. I don't know how like anyone.
I mean, I imagine like some alternatives to that could potentially be like there are people who are just obsessed with spooky things,
Right.
So there could be like what's the word? It's
Ooh.
conspiracy theory kind of
Right.
sites, or
And-
some random person on Tumblr runs a blog about it,
Right.
or there could be mysterious
I was about to
based
say
sites
there.
that talk
Yes,
about it.
there are probably like password only Mysteria Wikipedias that like you have to know the URL. They're not linked anywhere. They're on their own servers.
Mhm.
There are probably, to be honest, 1,001 like specific forums and whatnot.
Mhm.
Like there are probably those things as well that you could visit. In that case, you just don't know what anyone has had on this one. So it's probably not a
Yeah.
bad idea if you
Uh,
that's sort of what you would be hitting up.
You know what? What if instead I played an adventure card?
Oh no, what
my
is your
gosh.
adventure card?
It is Contact.
Oh.
My hero finds a friend or acquaintance who helps with the current situation. What if I have a friend who is their hobby or special interest is information about the paranormal and conspiracy theories in the Southwest United States.
That's fantastic, and I love the use of that card. Absolutely. So what you get is something a bit more. You get a lot more detail, right? What is this contact's name? Give him a name or them a name.
Let's
or
see.
like
This contact
just a handle, like maybe. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I like the idea of a handle. Let me see.
What's
My
a real
first-
spooky spider?
What was that?
A real spooky spider, like they they got strings on the web or something. I don't know, fucking know.
Oh, let's see.
Mogwai 65.
Mogwai 65.
No, Mogwai 69 because they're gross.
Nice. Oh man.
I got
What?
a baby.
What?
I have
You got a baby? Is it Webb? Is Webb visiting again?
He's being so sweet.
Oh. Gosh, my first two thoughts were what if it's like Skinwalker 93, except it is like they have censored the word Skinwalker
Okay.
with just like a bunch of random character substitutions.
That's fine.
Like
Yeah.
it's 5K1W, you know.
Yeah. No, I get it.
No, Leet speaks Skinwalker.
Lead
God.
speak
Yeah.
Skinwalker. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. And probably probably sucks. No. But yes, they know stuff.
They probably did suck until they did the research and were like, well, shoot, now everybody on the forums knows that I have a racially appropriative name, you know?
Right. Yeah. No. So I think yes, you do run across this person, and what this person gives you is something very different. Hansen was a alternative like medical doctor out of Los Angeles who really believed in the power of silence to set people free. Was really into like sensory removal of things, but specifically like the sensory removal of sound. And because like you can close your eyes, but you can always hear things, and hearing is actually the first sense that we interpret with. And so it was all about, and like is the thing that like we actually develop first is our capacity for hearing in utero. So it's
wow.
your hearing develops before your sight in utero. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about
like
the fact that those domes might well be just giant sensory deprivation tanks.
Go.
Right. And the bodies were found with their tongues cut out and their ears stuffed with wood.
would.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, and so and that was like his bag, and he came up with this like, so he bought some land by where you are now in the 1970s, and he opened up this like silent retreat center, and he had some takers, but then there was like some weird bad press that like was only written in newspaper clippings. He and your contact can't quite access these right now, although if he wants, you two can. But something happened, and a lot of the people who were funding it and a lot of people who were visiting kind of pulled out of the thing, and but there were still like a few people who stuck around and like were kind of rich California movie stars at the time, but then but it only was able to, and that's when sort of the domes started getting built. Like he had them built for his like greatest acolytes, basically, or greatest
the inner circle.
Right, the inner circle gets these domes built for them, and then like a few years later, he disappears. So he was probably active from like 69 to 75.
Nice.
But by like 75, he's off the map, and like no one knows him or what has happened with him. And his people, by 75, like his inner circle is also, there's no news of any of them. And so there's that and people just basically think that at some point, like the rumors is that at some point he drank, like they all drank the Kool-Aid and died somewhere in the desert. But no one knows for sure. So, but that's what you're able to pull out with that card.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. I'd like that. That was a good card use.
Hell yeah. Good card. Good
I
job.
was not expecting the use of that card. No, I love it. I love it when people use cards well. You know what I mean?
Does Strephon talk while he's digging, or is he just silently gathering information?
I think that he mumbles sentence fragments as he reads them.
Okay.
And then at the end, he like looks up, and almost makes eye contact with Amy, and reports the big picture of what he learned.
So she's just been eating while he's been doing his thing. She's down to just fries.
Oh, and he has maybe eaten one fry. He's not all that interested in.
Let me rephrase.
Food.
She's working on his fries now.
Oh yes, yeah, that is the standard arrangement, I think.
Yeah, it's like she enough time has passed that her meal is completed, and now she's just taking care of what he ordered. What? So nobody's taken a look in these domes? Like they've just left them alone? They didn't like break down any of them?
Oh, that's a good question. Has any of the information indicated that people have or can go inside?
No. No one can go inside. I mean, they're just like solid cement domes. You know,
there's no doors or anything.
How tall are they?
They're probably 9 to 10 feet tall. Like at their apex, they're huge. They're like really big.
Yeah. And are they about that same like radius?
Yeah, they're big.
They're
it would be a perfect
half
sphere.
spheres.
Yeah, they're perfect half spheres. Yes.
All of this is wholly suspicious, and I really think it would, benefit us to go on one of those tours tomorrow.
I agree.
Was the day of the article Wednesday or Thursday?
what's today? Tuesday? It is Thursday. Thursday is when the article was written.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's what I thought, which means
So
it
the
probably
deaths-
happened sometime Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe we'll run into the victims. She says, so point blank, uncaring, does not adjust volume, just says those words and is just like, yep.
There's like a
Those are
brief
things-
flapping of the door as like Cora pokes her head up, and then like pokes head. Yeah.
Maybe.
Trying to think if there's anything else that we would want to do in town. Because you had just gotten a whole bunch of information regarding the actual domes. That's probably what we're going to be doing next.
And I think you've been like sitting here for a good like almost
It's
2
probably-
hours or like
yeah,
hour and a
because-
half. Like she's cleared your plate. She's offered you pie 3 times. Your coffee. She has stopped refilling your coffee unless you're going to pay again. She's like, she said like, you all want something a couple times because it's probably close to like 5 o'clock now, which means
yeah,
that,
like it's getting about dinner rush time.
right, the dinner,
and we're sitting on the good real estate.
right? You're sitting in the booth. I would say that like as you guys get all this information, there's probably been 3 or 4 people entering. Two buddies are sitting on the booth or sitting on the stools. Another like an ancient couple, like they're so old, are now sitting
They came in at 4 and that was their dinner time.
Yeah, exactly. They came in maybe a half an hour ago for the blue plate special, which is an overcooked sirloin steak, super overcooked. Carrots, like just like mush carrots and steamed cauliflower, and like a slice of chocolate cream pie.
Who pays?
No,
between the two
rice
of us?
pudding. Rice pudding.
Oh,
That's what it is.
no.
Just like gummy ass rice pudding.
Sorry, I just had a flashback to some bloopers I recently listened to.
Between Amy and Strephon, who do you think usually handles money exchange for things like hotel and amenities and food and such and such?
So let's see. We had established that I think Amy holds the money for like the big stuff because like she takes care of refilling gas tanks and stuff. And Strephon probably does like the snacks and meals and things.
Okay. How well does Strephon tip?
Oh, he probably tips like 100%. We've been sitting here for a while and he feels guilty.
Because I was going to say, I don't know if Amy tips that well. So I wanted to determine if we would leave in the good graces of the server or if it would be like a don't come back kind of energy.
Right.
Okay. So I don't know about you, but I think Amy's ready to like officially go to the hotel, get checked in and everything.
Motel.
Absolutely.
Holiday Inn.
Oh, a Holiday Inn?
No, God, no. Sorry, that's a line.
Damn it.
That's a line from Rapper's Delight.
Oh.
Hotel, motel. Sorry, don't sue me, Twitch. Don't get me.
So that I'm good to go to the next scene. I don't know if there's anything that Strephon wants to do in between.
No, I think that's about it for what information we have.
Yeah. Do you all what's the word I want to think of what I'm saying? Do you share one room or 2?
I think in this kind of town, because it's such an isolated and alienated place, it's 1 room, 2 beds. If it were something a little less unfamiliar, we probably would have our own rooms.
Agree.
But I think this sort of situation calls for keeping things close to the chest.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you all go there. You go to the hotel. The guy behind the counter, the person behind the counter, is, probably the youngest person you've seen so far in this town.
Uh-huh.
Like, and by young I mean like late 20s, and not
Mhm.
like totally miserable and out of time. Oh, no, let me phrase that. They're totally miserable. This person looks so
Yeah.
bored. But they give you your room key. Do you take the second floor or the first? It's a motel, right? So you pull your bicycle up, your bicycle, ching ding. You pull your motorcycle up into the parking lot. Are you gonna take? It's got 2 floors. Are you gonna take
Mhm.
the floor closest to the garage or the parking lot? Or are you gonna walk up those like cement steps that go to the second level?
Ground floor.
Ground
Just a
floor.
statement,
Okay.
Yep.
specifically. It's something that I think like there are spaces of compromise if we're in a situation where there is an elevator or something. Amy
Mhm.
prefers higher up, but because this is very much concrete steps to get to the room, it's ground floor.
Okay. And it's got one
Mhm.
of those whatchamacallit. It's got one of those windows that is so big but also looks directly out on the parking spaces.
Mhm.
And you have to like
Yeah.
draw the curtain, and if you don't, like people can just like look
Just
in
see.
and like see you
Yep.
Mhm.
sitting.
And the curtains are never quite large enough for the
Yeah.
whole window. Like
Right.
there's a sliver of light no matter what
Always.
you do.
Always. And I will say that there are, based on the slivers of light in the darkening, you can see there is a room on the second floor that is taken.
Mhm.
Probably like if it was directly above you and then 2 down. There's only, there are 4 ground floor and 4 above. It's only an 8-room place. Most of the people that come
Mhm.
through here are RVers or campers, so they don't
Hmm.
necessarily use. It's not a huge motel.
Mhm.
And so you have one person, and then you have another person. So if you're in room 2 in the ground floor, they're in room 4. So there's a room between the 2 of you.
Mhm.
And there's only like a smattering, and they obviously both have vehicles in the parking lot as well.
Mhm.
So I guess they're right above one another, and you're one over.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Um, So what are you going to do with your evening? Just sort of do you need to call anyone or do anything? You going to check in with your parole officer, quote unquote?
I should probably do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. I think the first thing that we do though, so that we have to set up our space, and for Strephon that includes covering every reflective surface that looks into their room.
Mm-hmm.
He is mildly paranoid about that.
You even cover it's got like a TV, but it's a glass front, so that reflects as well. So you're gonna
Yeah, absolutely. And then he would set up the we had decided it was like a little arch or something made out of these saplings.
Out of these tiny right these like very bendy branches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do that in front of how does that work when he does that? Jackie, do you leave when he does the arch, or do you like hang out as well?
I think it's something that if Strephon asks for privacy, Amy would step out, but if not, Amy is just chilling on the single bed that's hers, that she has claimed.
Mhm.
She's off fiddling with her phone or something.
Right. I don't think Strephon thinks to ask for privacy. She has probably met this person once before, at least.
I mean, I've been in your home many a time,
Right.
so it's one of those things where, and we've probably traveled before as well. So this is old hat at this point.
Yeah,
It's not like
absolutely.
a what are you doing kind of thing.
So tell me what the ritual looks like to activate this thing.
Gosh, so I have to kind of braid together these saplings of like rowan and holly or something.
Mhm.
And oh gosh, it's probably involves like a Ritz cracker with a pat of butter and a little bit of honey.
Mhm.
And like a drop of blood on top of that.
Mhm.
And then I have to like whisper the person's name 3 times or something.
Okay. Or at least the one of their true names that you know.
Right, yeah. Like the least of their true names or whatever it is.
And the space of wall between this arc shimmers, and the cool breeze of a beautiful spring day comes through the arc. It's very relaxing, actually, because you also have a pretty crappy air conditioner, just blowing like terrible dust and awfulness where you are.
It's so loud.
It's so loud.
It smells like mold.
Yeah. And in glides this very graceful fey woman, probably like very angular, beautiful features, almost angelic in how she moves. She's got one of those, those gowns, like that have the sleeves and they're like
they hang really low,
and then they like come up and they like join to a ring like on the finger like that. Like I feel like I've seen that in like some fantasy. So like when she moves, her like sleeves moves and there's like this big thing and they're like attached to a ring on each finger. It's a pale blue. Her hair is in a braid that goes down her back. It's like long and very like, it even seems to shine magically. It like reflects the summer light, the spring light that's coming through the arch. And she has this like very beautiful look on her face until she steps into your room, at which point it looks like someone shit in her cereal. And she just like sort of scowls like, "Where have you brought me today?" And she looks over and she sees you, Jackie, or sees you, Amy, and she's like,
I do a little finger wave.
Yeah, and she scowls at you. Still hanging out, still consorting with the half-breed, I see.
Fuck you too.
We find ourselves on business in Alton's Bend, Arizona.
And what, pray tell, brings you out here? I still, for the life of me, can't understand your schedule. What business is this? And remember, she doesn't know that you're in 1,000. Like she doesn't know. Like that was very clear that she doesn't. She must never know.
Absolutely.
I don't know what she thinks you are, but like what you do.
Oh gosh, what does she think we do? So I make it a policy to never lie to the Fae. So it has to be something similar to the truth.
We gather information.
Yeah.
We're reporters.
Yes. We're investigating a story here.
She like goes over to your crappy, like to the lamp, like runs her finger, like looks at it.
Oh, it's so dusty.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Stories. Such things. A great tale to be told. Is that what this is? Are we telling a tale?
1,000 of them. No, wait.
She looks at you. What the fuck did you just say?
Nope.
No.
If I ever stop telling stories, you'll kill me, right? Wait. No, so the actual dialogue here is not a great story, but someone was curious about something and asked us to help look into it.
Someone, you say? Who is this someone you're working for?
I am afraid I cannot tell you. I have given my word to tell no one. You understand.
She looks at you and sort of cocks her head to the side just like slightly. And the thing you have to understand about the eyes of true Fae is that there is it's one color. It's just that's it. Like there's like this other world. There's no cornea, no iris. It's all one color. And the color dip change, like it's not like a mood ring or anything. It doesn't change. Like it's like, oh, now she's angry. But hers have always been like these like deep violet glass marbles. But that being said, there is this weird feeling when the eyes move over you, like they're searching. You can feel the focus move up and down your body, and it's so unnerving.
Yeah.
Does your bond? Never mind. It's there. She looked like she was about to ask you, and she goes, "No, I see it now. It's faint, but it's there. I'm sure we could try to get around it." If we wanted to. But... And then she turns to you. Half-breed, leave the room, please. I must start to speak to my charge alone.
God, how does Amy respond to this? In the most like teenager way possible, like she rolls her head as she turns her attention away from her phone to this being, and then looks to Strephon, does like the deepest, heaviest, most bothered sigh, puts on her shoes, picks up her umbrella, steps out the door, and as she's closing it, she does the like, I'm watching you eyes, you know, just to the room in general.
He gives the most apologetic shrug possible.
And she goes, I'm gonna get some ice as she leaves.
Good idea.
What can you tell me now that your person is gone? Your chauffeur? Is that what she is? Your driver?
She does drive.
Frankly, you would do good to return to the Summerlands.
My understanding is that that is not a safe place for me right now.
Oh, but it could be, Strephon. You just have to... I know that your previous pact was not a healthy one of sorts, but there are many royals who would love to take someone on like you. And she actually, like, does that thing where she reaches out like a mother would and, like cleans some schmutz from your cheek.
Oh, gosh.
You know we would.
I am aware, but I need time to be my own man. At least for a while.
That's, of course. But true forfeiture and seizures of your previous lord is coming up, coming before the court. You're going to have to tell me something soon, if that's going to be the way it is. As long as you keep supplying, you can keep your freedom. What? You say you cannot tell me who you're working for. But I will need something. If not now, very, very soon.
Of course. I will consider the man. What are the words he would use here? I will consider the terms of my agreement and determine precisely what I can tell you.
That will only stave me off for a few days at most.
Of course.
I too have my obligations, and well, I do like you a lot, Strephon. One must fulfill. You are only one of my charges. And she gives you a little, like, soft now, like, she goes from, like, stroking your cheek to, like, a little, like, soft, like,
to like the little pats.
like a yeah, real gross.
Yeah. Yeah, real gross.
Real gross. So perhaps she goes, but I have spoken too much, out of turn. This is what you do to me, as it were. But bring me something soon. Yes?
I will do my best.
Very good. And she reaches into like a pouch that's hanging from her belt, and it's like a really nice belt. It's got one of those like goldy chain things.
Mm-hmm.
She opens it up and she pulls out a like fresh loaf of bread, right? Like and it smells so good. And it's like her purse was an oven, because it is like piping fucking hot. And she hands it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, there we go. I expect to hear from you in a few days. Yes?
Yes, my lady.
Very good. I will see you soon. And she walks back through the door. Hey, Amy. Hey,
Yeah.
Jackie.
Hi. Hello.
When you go out to get your ice, can you give me a notice roll at -4?
Oh.
Is this what I think this is?
I don't know.
I am ready to Benny. Fuck, I'm gonna Benny.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy.
I have to ace to get this. Oh, I'm gonna Benny again.
Oh, no,
Last Benny
no.
gone.
Oh.
We're changing this die. We don't like you. You're being
rough. Are you including your wild dice too?
Always.
Just making sure.
It's okay. I'm just.
Do you just have a D4 notice?
I have a D8 notice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is at a -4, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the highest I rolled was a 7, and a -4 is a 3.
Oh no!
So I noticed nothing.
You noticed nothing.
Oh no!
Also, my wild die that I've been using is this little bitty red one.
Nice.
Regular size die in comparison. So if I roll D6s, I know which one's my wild die.
That's fair. So you...
I got a 3.
So close. So you don't notice one thing.
A thing that might be very important
Yeah,
for me as a character, but
it was just so it was very fleeting of sorts.
Mhm.
And you're like, gosh, I don't. You're like, what happened? You got to shake your head for a minute. But you sort of you don't know exactly what's up, but you do notice. But as you're sort of clearing your mind of what it was, you do notice that one of the cars, is like a hatchback. And you weren't with all the unpacking before, you didn't really notice or whatever, and getting. And it's filled with camping gear.
Ooh.
And hold on, I gotta look at one other thing. Hold on. Where are you? Okay. Nope, that's not the one. Okay.
Oh, hello, Suki. Suki says hello, everyone.
Can you tell Suki that I say hi and that I love her?
Hey, Suki. Jackie says hello and she loves you. Oh, really?
Thank you. Web, you were in the sun being all cute. Why'd you move?
Yeah, you're the worst. No, that's not true.
Is it because I had my camera out? You just knew.
I need to look one thing up because I didn't write it down because I'm dumb.
I do want to say that Amy does get ice. Like,
yeah,
she doesn't go. She gave herself a reason to leave, so it wasn't at the behest of
right.
the Lady Fae. She also.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to decide if she's going to do anything to the hatchback.
Yeah. So you see that, and then you notice from the window there, like
to the wall.
That's right. No. The hanging from the rear view mirror is is instead of fuzzy dice, there are like two foam heads of Wilbur and Wilma Wildcat, who are the mascots of the University of Arizona, which is the state university out of Tucson, Arizona. So.
Okay. All right. I think.
But you're not sure which apartment, which.
No. I think Amy is going to puncture one of their tires.
Of the hatchback.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Just all right.
Yeah, she's gonna try to do it in a way that it could have been like if she can find a nail on the ground, she'll use that. So it's just like, ah, shit, bad luck.
Amy might strike me as the kind of person who carries a nail on in case she needs it.
I mean, I do have written down. She has a switchblade, so worst case scenario, she just does that, or does the thing where you like press in the air nozzle thing to release the air that way, so it's not an actual puncture, but air is going to be released from a tire.
I think. Give me a stealth roll, please, just to see how you slick you do this.
I'll gladly do.
Because there are not a ton of people around, and you walking up to their like hatchback are just like.
Ah, shit! I dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
On the ground doesn't count. Mm-hmm. It should have counted. Damn it! No. I'm out of bennies.
Did you really fuck it up?
So, I mean, if it were crit fail, I would not have been able to.
Right.
The die when it initially fell on the floor was a 4, and then I re-rolled it into a 3, and my wild die was a 1, so I fail.
Okay. So
I think my dice hate me.
I think you go for a slash with your tire that's like won't be noticeable. So no one comes out right now, but the damage or maybe you go to like press it in, but you like really that's what you do. You go to press it in, but you really fuck up the nozzle. So it is very apparent that someone messed with it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
like someone was trying to like be sneaky and they just like fucked it up. So that's what it is. Like no one notices
So it's
you
like
right
nobody
now.
noticed in the moment, but they'll notice that the deed was done.
Yes, exactly. It won't like your goal was to make it seem like an accident, and that is what you failed at.
That's fine.
Right. If you had crit failed, I would have had them come out.
They would have absolutely seen me, and
But-
it would have been a confrontation.
Yeah, but I think this is better.
Damn.
So, with nothing else to do, though, I assume the two of you are going to eat dinner and turn in.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I don't know if there's a whole lot else that she does. I think, God, Amy is especially on edge because the newspaper clipping included a specific mention of like wood shoved in ears. And so she might push for sleeping in rounds, so somebody sits and watches and then somebody else will sit and watch for like the second half of the night. So like we both get adequate sleep, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, I think I really want to include this little character vignette of Amy coming back into the room, and Strephon is just like hunched over this loaf of bread, and he's like tearing hunks off of it and putting some of the fruit preserves that he bought earlier onto it, and just it's the first thing that he's really eaten all day.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
It's like
just ravenously, yeah, munching on this.
Do you like? Is there a moment where you're like a kid caught with his hand in the candy jar, where you're like,
or do you just not notice at all?
Yeah.
I don't think I even noticed. Just like completely zoomed in on the only thing that I've eaten all day that has any flavor to me.
Okay. All right. So yeah, everything else is just like drinking water, even the bubbly water.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you all are sleeping in shifts, give me tell me. We're gonna do Amy high, Strephon low. All right, it's a 4. So Amy.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night. And you've taken your shift of sleep. Strephon is now on his. It's probably 2 a.m. And I don't know if you're watching.
Amy's posted up in that. So we had established that these windows have those curtains don't fully cover.
Yeah.
We would have closed it so the open side was on an end where you couldn't really see the beds where they were, and Amy is like leaning against the wall looking out that sliver of space.
Okay, great. And that like puts you directly next to the air conditioning unit. It's because it's one of those air conditioning heater units that's like directly under the window. And it's so fucking loud, and you don't notice it right in the beginning because you're so. It's like you've become acclimated to it at this point. And you're pretty like centered on being out there, like staring out there. But we're always used to a pretty significant amount of ambient noise, even when we are asleep. There's that dull sound of the hums of water pipes and electricity, and there's also this
creatures
clanging,
outside.
all those things. And there you are, Amy. I don't know if Strephon like gurgles a little in his sleep or not.
Probably a little bit.
Yeah, but you can hear the breathing, like his breathing. It's pretty measured, and maybe like a every once in a while, and then it just goes dead fucking silent. It's so quiet, but it's not like anything stopped. The air conditioner is still blowing underneath you. You peek over and Strephon is still, like, you see the rising,
like breathing and moving.
Yeah, but it's like someone muted your life.
I think Amy would make a hum in her throat to see if she can still produce sound, and it's just that she can't perceive it.
You're going to try to produce sound?
Just a hum in her throat.
Nope.
Like an uncomfortable noise.
Nope.
Like, I didn't, like, no vibrations are felt at all. Like, I can't even.
You can feel the vibration. There's nothing produced.
Just can't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Looking outside, like, there's no visible, noticeable anything going on, is there?
Make me a notice roll.
I will always gladly make a notice roll with my no bennies. Let's go. Let's try it.
Yes.
Come on. A 6.
Oh, with a 6. This is what you have. You see just at the far end, like catty corner around this building, almost out of sight, you're not quite sure, but it is maybe your eyes are playing tricks on you. It's so hard. You're like straining your eyes and your ears because it's so distracting. But you think just in the corner, you see a naked, emaciated body. Spine showing, ribs poking through, hair long, nails long, walking around the corner of this building. And they take like 3 steps one way, and you think they're going, like, they pass behind a lamp post, and you expect them to come out on the other side, but they don't, and then all the sound is back. And so
Fuck. God.
Give me a reason roll.
Okay. What is my reason? I don't have.
Whatever, it's half your spirit plus 2.
So I'm rolling spirit plus 2.
Yep.
Oh no.
No, it's half. Yes, it's half your spirit plus 2. Yes.
Okay.
So reason.
Does it get a wild die?
It does get a wild die.
Okay. 5 divided by 2 plus 2.
Are we rounding up or
down? Me a 4. That would at least get me a 4. Even rounding down.
Either way, it's a 4 or a 5.
Nope, it's a 5. You pass. Great. You don't lose one.
Cool.
Every time you fail, you lose one. Just so you know.
Oh, that's
how
great.
It works. So once you get to 0, things happen. Yep. And the sound is back, and you hear his breathing, and you're the fan, or you hear the air conditioning. Like, it's almost like your ears pop, and everything's there. And that is where we're going to call today's game. Ta-da!
Awesome.
God.
So, Ta-da!
What the
Ta-da.
fuck is happening in this town?
What a good story so far.
Holy
Yep.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Holy cow.
So anyway, let's take a minute to excuse ourselves. We'll go in reverse order. I believe that puts Paxton you first.
Hello, I'm Paxton. If you want to see more of me, you can check out my friend's YouTube channel, Roll for That, or DJ's podcast, Applied Materials. I am on Twitter at sentimental_boy. If you really want to see me be angry about stuff and also excited about fandom things.
Yeah. And you are?
I am Jackie. Like I said earlier, you can find me on a smattering of AP podcast discords. This includes Orpheus Protocol, Tabletop Squadron, Whimsy and Artifice, RPG for You and Me, Sounds Like Crows. I'm everywhere. You can also find me on Twitter at Good Ship Sarcasm.
That's so long, and I love it.
I do art stuff as well as just general memes and muckery.
Get ready for speaking of that. Get ready. Memes and muckery. No. Yes. And I am Ben Hatton. I am the GM. You can find me also on Discord under the Ben Hatton. That's where you'll find me. And I occasionally put up tweets through this website, which is Liber Novus Game. I'm actually, it's the 1st of October. I'm going to put up the first one. This thing, if you join, nope. Is it called? No, it's called Game Novus. God, I do this every time. I am a terrible self-promoter. It's Game Novus, which is GAMENOVUS. And this month I'm gonna start putting up lore tweets. Every day gets a new tweet about the Mysterio world and history and mysteries. So if you're interested in seeing some world building, hit us up at Game Novus. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the stream now. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.